This is the card I'm creating in today's video. It has this fun wobbling effect created with an action wobbler. I'll give you tips for helping your mug wobble better in this video. If you enjoy this card, make sure you're subscribed and that you like this video to support my work. I'm also using Tim Holtz's Distress Watercolor pencils to achieve a loose watercolor effect. I'm starting by watercoloring my reindeer. To do that, I've placed the dice on some watercolor paper and roughly drawn around them. By not getting into the details at this stage, I make it easier for me to keep my watercoloring loose and relaxed. Today I'm only using 4 watercolor pencils. They are spun sugar, worn lipstick, tea dye, ground espresso. Using just a few colors can help make watercoloring more manageable. I've already filled in the areas with the pencils and now I'm adding water and more pigment. The nose and the insides of the ears will be spun sugar. The flowers I'm coloring with spun sugar and worn lipstick. Switching to the brown colors, the antlers will be mostly tea dye with some ground espresso toward the bottom. The head of the reindeer is also going to be tea dye with shading and ground espresso. In watercolor, we always move from light to dark, so I'm starting by adding water to the lighter areas. This is a fairly large area, so I try to make my brush strokes large and expressive. It looks like a hot mess right now, but it will come out all right in the end, I promise. I'll speed up the rest of the painting and turn on some music. Finally, I make the eyes really dark in ground espresso. Then I dry everything with my Wagner heat tool. Once everything is dry, I cut out my reindeer parts. The mug dies I'm using today are by Trinity Stamps, one of my most favorite stamp companies. This reindeer is from an add-on die set called Freezin season. It also includes a penguin and a melting snow person. Cute and funny like many Trinity Stamps products. I double up the head and antlers. When you're creating a wobbling feature, sturdiness is everything. Then I add some flowers to the antlers. And I glue down the insides of the ears. The way I glue the antlers to the head is that I place them where I want them and hold them there with magnets. I add glue to the bottoms and place the head on top. Turning to the sentiment, I've got a Trinity Stamps Punny Cup of Tea sentiment stamp set, and I've selected Wishing You a Terrific Birthday. The mug die set I'm using is called the Berry Cute Layered Mug Die Set. I've cut the body of the mug from Accent Opaque 120 pounds. 120 pounds is overkill, but I've run out of 100 pounds. I'm waiting for my delivery. I have applied anti-static powder to the cardstock and now I'm stamping with Versamark. I'm heat embossing the sentiment with superfine gold embossing powder from Reindeer. I'm doubling up the body of the mug because that's the part that will wobble. Then I glue the reindeer head to the mug. And I double up the cream that goes on top of the mug. And then I can glue the whipped cream to the back of the reindeer. Once that's dried, I'm gluing another reindeer head on the back to make sure the cream and the mug are really well connected. Don't worry if you're having a hard time remembering all the different die cuts. There's a complete cut list on my blog at rallyartpaper.com. There are also labeled photos of the die sets. Just search on Trinity Mug and you'll find the right post. Then I can place the nose and the eyes. The nose goes on the end of the brown bridge of the nose. And the eyes go to the left and right of the nose bridge. I have chosen to make only the main body of the mug be the wobbling part. The mug die cut with a handle will form the base of my wobbler. Here's the action wobbler. It's basically 2 plastic pieces with a plastic spiral between them. The plastic pieces are different, but in my experience it doesn't matter which part you put where. I used to get fancy to try and find the center of gravity of the wobbly part, but it never seemed to help. So now I just try to put the wobbler roughly in the middle and then I use foam tape to help it wobble better. I'll show you what that looks like at the end of the video. In this case, I placed the wobbler behind the reindeer nose. Then I placed the mug base on top of it. Turning to the background, I'm keeping it pretty simple. First, I'm using this waffle flower circle texture die on a piece of watercolor paper. Then I'm using the same pink Tim Holtz watercolor pencils I used before. I'm applying sponge sugar all over the background. Then I add warm lipstick to the edges. Now I'm mushing around the water with the water brush, starting in the center. Again, we're not going for neat and tidy here. I just want a textured background that matches the pink on the reindeer and flowers. This is what it looks like when it's dry. To flatten it, I'm gluing it to a white piece of cardstock that's also 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. Pressing my burn folder against the back really helps the watercolor paper to adhere to the cardstock everywhere. We are in the home stretch. I'm putting glue on the back of the Action Wobbler mug and adhering it to our background. Then I'm going to add a couple more flowers. I'm putting one on the eyebrow of our reindeer and 2 near the bottom right of the mug. Finally, I put some very pretty Spellbinders gems in the center of the flowers. I'm omitting the one for the bottom flower because it might interfere with the wobbling action. To improve the wobble, I've added foam tape to the mug base. I had to add 2 layers. I could have added the foam tape to the back of the reindeer instead, but it might have caught on the edge of the mug when wobbling. The important part is not to remove the backing paper. That way the cardstock slides easily on top. So that wraps up today's card. I think the loose watercoloring goes well with the wobbling action, and the reindeer is just too cute. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this interactive card. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.